Welcome back to another episode with Lifestyle with Kim Litvak. We are continuing with Thanksgiving family favorites, and this is something that is on our table every single year, which is my pumpkin pecan pie squares. So stay tuned and I will share with you how we make it. Okay, so welcome back. Another, again, Lifestyle with Kim Litvak, and we're making our pecan pumpkin pie squares. Say that 3 times fast. So again, we're going back to the family cookbook and we are starting with the crust. We're gonna start with flour. And remember, baking, you're gonna level off. So 1 cup of flour, right into the bowl. And then we're going to do half of a cup of brown sugar. And what's fun is these ingredients are in multiple different steps of this recipe. Half cup of oats. These are the quick cooking oats. Right in there. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I have an unusually large supply of oats because I do like them and I forget I have them, so I keep buying them. So it's started to be a collection over time. And then we've got half of a cup of butter. Now to help it along, I am gonna kind of dice it up just a smidge. And that. Perfect. So right in there it goes. Trust me, don't be alarmed. There will be more butter coming up. I won't let you down, I promise. So you're gonna take that stick of butter and you're just gonna start working it in to get it nice and crumbly. Again, you can use a pastry cutter for this if you would really like to. I just find my really clean hands work best for me. And you want the butter worked really throughout because it's going to help you, since this is the crust, it's going to help you get that crust to, well, stay not overly crumbly in the pan, like, you know, come together real well. Okay. So then I'm going to grab my 9x13. Now I did go ahead and spray this with nonstick cooking spray, and we're just going to take this and put it right in there, and then we're going to work this out just a little bit. And be very gentle because the butter will just kind of, if you try and be too forceful, it'll just stick to your hands and you'll have big bare spots. So work it out nice and gentle at first, and then what you can do is take one of your measuring cups and then just tamp it down once it's already kind of in place. Like so. There you go. So this will go into the oven at 350 degrees, which I've already preheated that. And that will cook for about 15 minutes. So while we get this into the oven for 15 minutes, we'll come back and we'll work on our filling. It is a 3-step process, but it's a very easy 3-step process. It's moving and grooving the whole time. So we will get this into the oven and I will wash these pots. Okay, now to get started on our filling, you're gonna put a large can, which I think this is 29 ounces, of just plain pumpkin puree. You don't want the pumpkin pie filling, just the plain pumpkin puree. So we're gonna put that in there. Make sure you use a spatula to get it all out. Bum, bum, bum. And then you're going to add a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. Right on in there. Really, it couldn't be easier. There's multiple steps, but the multiple steps really are cooking it. So it's easy and it tastes amazing. We're going to do 2 large eggs. Right in the bowl they go. Three-quarters of a cup of sugar. Since I don't see my quarter cup, I will just do half and then half of 1/2. Perfect. And then there will be some salt. About a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1 more one. There we go. And then some cinnamon. You've got a teaspoon of cinnamon. I don't know if you folks have heard of the Slow Food Group, but this cinnamon powder, what we get in the stores, the little tiny cinnamon sticks, is not actually cinnamon. It's a relative of it, but I get the Ceylon cinnamon powder from this mail order thing, and it's actual cinnamon. It's a little more mild than what we typically get from the grocery stores. And sweeter, it's not sweet, but sweeter, if you will, than that stick as well. And easy, we're just gonna mix it up. Start slow so you don't wear it. Kind of break up those eggs a little bit. And just like I said, it'll pop right out of the bowl. That's okay. Now the really only challenging part about this step is while that crust bakes is not taking a spoon to it. If you were not here, I cannot confirm nor deny that would not take place. So there you go, it's all ready for as soon as that crust is done. Okay. And notice the crust has just a little bit of brownage, but we don't expect it to be done yet because it's got a bit more cooking that it needs to do. So we're going to take that filling, we're just going to pour it in. Hear that sizzle. And again, scrape your bowl down. Spread it out a little bit so it's nice and even. Now it's an extra precaution. Not that I think that there's any bubbles underneath, but when you're pouring it out, it's always possible. So just give it a little back. And we'll put this back in a 350 for 20 minutes, and we'll get started on the amazing topping for it. I wish you could smell this kitchen right now. It smells so good with that pumpkin and that crust just baking away. So while that does, I'm gonna go ahead and make a pecan topping for it. Now, full disclosure, I make double what is supposed to go on top of it because just like an apple crisp. I mean, isn't the crisp like the best part? So this is no different. So we're gonna put 1 cup of packed brown sugar. This is a 1/4 cup, so instead of me wasting or cleaning another one, I'm just gonna go ahead and do 4 of these. One more. There's that. We are going to do 1 cup of pecans. So I put mine in this handy dandy little thing, and there'll be a link below where you can get this on Amazon if you'd like to have it for yourself. It makes things so much easier than trying to chase any type of nuts around on a cutting board, trying to cut yourself. But I'm gonna go ahead and put Georgia pecans on in here. If I can get them open. There we go. And there is little measuring cups. This will take a couple times of me filling and grinding, but it's okay. I'd rather do that than cut myself all up. And then you just grind. And probably one more pass through. We'll have that cup. Now, a little tip about any type of nuts. I always store mine in the freezer because there's so many oil and nuts that if you keep them out on the counter or in a pantry or whatever, the oils will help it become rancid much faster. So if you go ahead and put them in the freezer though, that inhibits those oils and they stay fresher for months longer than would have been otherwise. And that works for any kind, almonds, walnuts, doesn't really matter. And I just took mine out of the freezer right before I got started. And they're already pretty much thawed, so it doesn't take like an exorbitant amount of time. Okay, we've got our cup. So I am gonna go ahead and they are separated, so if I had too much, there's that. That's not a worry. Just do that. I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of, like a very tiny pinch of salt, just because there's so much sweetness going on. And then I've got 4 tablespoons of butter. Once again, I'm gonna cut them up just a little bit, just to help me get them incorporated a little easier. Nothing fancy because they're just going to get worked right in. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and work all of this. See, I told you I wouldn't let you down on the butter. There would be more. But I mean, even just the smell before this is even baked is just amazing. That molassesy brown sugar, those fresh pecans. And that is all to it. So we will set this aside until just a couple minutes when that filling and crust come out, and we will top it with this amazing topping. Now we're just going to take out the pie filling, or the filling and the crust, and it's not done yet, but we're going to take this topping, we're just going to sprinkle it all over the top as evenly as possible. Put a little bit on everything, and then you can go back and fill in anything else really well. Now we're going to put this right back in 350 for another 20 minutes. So right back in that goes. Okay, so our pumpkin pecan pie squares have come out of the oven. They have cooled a little bit, yeah, for probably about an hour, give or take. So now I'm gonna make a complimentary homemade whipped topping to go into it. So this is about a cup of heavy cream. And then I'm gonna add about 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, give or take. And that was probably a little bit of a give. So, and then Abby, of course, is trying to make an appearance and be a very big helper. She is very excited about this whipped topping.
That's actually Chloe.
That's Chloe. Oh, Chloe's trying to make an appearance for a change. Aw, my sweet little girl. So now we're just gonna whip this until it forms soft peaks. We start out a little bit slow, start to incorporate it. You want a larger bowl because it will get volume as it pumps air in. If you're not making a mess, you're not really cooking. Okay, let's check that consistency. It's looking pretty good. So now we have our maple whipped topping, and then we have our pumpkin pecan pie squares. You can smell the topping, it's like oozing. I know, we didn't put any butter at all in it, but it's oozing the smell of butter. I love an in piece, I don't know about you. So I'm gonna try this piece right here and go along the sides. Make sure you get through that crust. The first piece out is always a doozy, so let's see. Let's see how we did. Not terrible. And then a little bit of that topping, literally right on top, like a pillow. I've been excited about this all day. Yeah, that's the money right there. That topping almost becomes like candied, like it's perfect. So before you eat this whole piece, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you decide to make this for your Thanksgiving. I really think you're gonna love it. It's absolutely perfect. It's cooked perfectly. If you let it cool a little bit longer, I'm sure it'll be a little bit easier to get out of the pan. Absolutely perfect. It's cooked perfectly too. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my future episodes. We always have so much fun here, and I can't wait to hang out with you again. Until next time, enjoy some pumpkin pecan pie squares.